guys. I couldn't resist getting back to it. Just another stream before the end of the night. Play a little bit more. Wrong way. Totally the wrong way, dude. Let me go over here. I think everything's clear. So this puzzle's interesting, to me at least. Give me 1 second, I'm just gonna get some water. It was interesting to me because when I was playing around with the puzzle, I didn't realize that, you know, all these things are different weights, but like when you go right here, it weighs way too much. But if you look at all these figures, it's like her sister, her mom, her family, the fox guy, the drug balances with everything. The drug means that much.
なとこに置いとくなんて。
Damn.
「私の日記」？何か入ってる。 部屋うちにはない。これが壊れたらどうする？こんな部屋うちにはない。ガスが切れてるみたいだけどチューブはまだ使えそうだ。もうじき壊れるな。 ざけないでよ。
ああ、
ひな子、お父さんはね、ひな子
きれい
の。
事はやめて。私知ってるよ。お父さんの借金のせいでしょ。
おお、なんだと。
おかしな人に騙されてお金を全部持ち逃げされたのはお父さんの責任じゃない。お母さんもあんなに倹約して、お姉ちゃんだって友達に笑われても古い服のままで少しでも幸せになろうって家族みんなで貯めたお金だったんだよ。偉そうなこと言う前に謝ってよ。私に、お姉ちゃんに、お母さんにずっと迷惑をかけてきたことを謝ってよ。
なんだその言い様。
お父さん、やめてください。お願いします。ひな子、悪いけどお惣菜を買ってきてくれる？
だって
何でもいいから行きな、早く。
離せ。今日という今日は我慢ならん。親のことを何てと思ってやがる。
落ち着いてください。お願いします、お父さん。
女は家畜と変わらないんだ。 いた。でも何の話だろう。
ひなこ、しゅうくんから電話だよ。
今いないって言って。
いるって言っちゃったよ。
じゃあ買い物に行ってるとか言っといてよ。
はいはい、分かったよ。
私が見えてるよね。とうとう私の声まで聞こえるようになったんだ。そんなとこに立ってないで入ったら、ちょうど話がしたかったところだから。あなたは誰なの？自分でもおかしいと思うの。自分で自分がわからない感じ。自分の気持ちが自分で理解できない。どういうこと？何の話をしているの？多分あなたは私で、私はあなたじゃない、そういう気がするの。あなたは誰？私がひなこならあなたは誰なの？あ、ひなこなのは同じ。でも心はもう清水ひな子じゃないのかもしれない。わけのわからない言い方はやめて。何の話をしているの？あんたこそとぼけるのはやめて。さっきからなんで何もわからないふりをしているの？ねえ、しっかりと私と向き合って、ちゃんと考えて。私はね、あんたをすぐに殺すこともできたんだよ。でもしなかった。なんでかわかる？ちゃんとあんたと清水ひな子と本気で話がしたかったから。私たちは対等に、そして全力で殺し合わなくちゃいけない。なのにあんたは逃げ回るだけ。それどころか真剣に私たちのことを考えようともしていない。これ以上あんたが逃げ回るならもういい。もう今度こそあんたを殺すから。あんただけじゃないからね。お父さんもお母さんも殺す。この家もこの町も消し去ってやる。凛子も咲子も殺す。そしてもちろん の大切な相棒もね。シュはどこにいるのねえ、シュってそんなに大事？あんたのこと未だに宇宙戦争ごっこの相棒だと思ってるんだよ。あんたのこと女だとさえ思ってくれてないんだよ。ただの幼馴染の腐れ死んだって全然問題ない。シュは大切な私の相棒だ。殺されてたまるか。うちの中まで。どうしてこんなことに。
よっ、ひなこちゃんのお帰りだ。待ってました。
ひなこ、遅かったな。 今から始めるところだったぞ。誰のなんだと。それではご一同様、包丁のさよどうぞ。ご覧くださいよなんだその言い草は。
I guess he puts food on the fucking table.
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お母さん、どうして。
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
本質だ。そうだよなんだ。
ちょっとこっちに来なさい。
親の苦労もわからん。崖潰しだ。誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。
Who do you think puts food on the table? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, Brogar, I cannot explain what is happening, okay? I cannot explain what is happening. Last night, right when you left, things went off the hook. Like crazy, crazy, dude. And now I'm over here where she's like facing her parents, which is fun. I enjoy the fight. That's why I kind of died on purpose so I can actually fight it, you know what I mean? Fight it again. Every time he kills you, who do you think puts food on the table? But no, there's some crazy stuff. Every time she jumps,
の苦労もわからん。崖潰しろ。
ちょっとこっちに来なさい。いい加減諦めなさい。
okay, last thing.
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。
Who do you think puts food on the table? That's funny. Every time.
女ししろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。女ししろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of looked torn up.
いい加減諦めなさい。
俺の苦労もわからん。崖潰しろ。
ちょっとこっちに来なさい。どうしてひな子はそうなの。
食わせやってると思ってんだ。
Dang. He puts the food on the table.
女ししろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが
He looks so
女
torn
の
up. I don't want
役
to
目な
spoil
の。
it for you.
お父さん、
There's reasons why she looks like
お母さん、どうして。
that. That guy just.
女のくせに。
Not really fighting him. A little bit. Like,
いい加減諦めなさい。
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。
Who do you think puts food on the table?
女ししろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。
He Yeah, dude, kind of reminds me of I Am. Yeah, dude, for reals. Who do you think puts food on the table?
女をなししろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
いい加減諦めなさい。ちょっとこっちに来なさい。どうしてひな子はそうなの。
そうだよなんだ。何の上だ。誰が食わせてやってると思ってんだ。
女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
もう手術だ。そうだよなんだ。
どうしてひな子をそんな。
俺の苦労爆発した。
ちに来なさい。
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。あんな女らしくしろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それ仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
本気やつだ。そうだよなんだ。
いい加減諦めなさい。
苦労もわからん。崖潰しだ。食わせやってると思ってんだ。あんな女らしくしろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
食わせやってると思ってんだ。あんな女らしくしろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
親の苦労もわからん。崖潰しだ。
ちょっとこっちに来なさい。謝りなさい。
誰が食わせやってると思ってんだ。
He actually just closed you to him. Ooh.
あんな女らしくしろ。いつも言ってるだろう。
仕方がないよ。それが女の役目なの。
お父さん、お母さん、どうして。
ちょっとこっちに来なさい。どうしてひな子はそうなの。
苦労もわからん。 潰しやがる。
Who do you think puts food on the damn floor?
どうしてひな子はそうなの。どうしてひな子はそうなの。ちょっとこっちに来なさい。
親の苦労もわからん。崖潰しやがる。
どうしてひな子はそうなの。いい加減諦めなさい。
向かって何の無理だ。親の苦労もわからん。崖潰しやがる。
いい加減諦めなさい。
本質だ。その程度なんだ。
Hot diggity dog, neighbor. Pretty tough, man. Gotta focus on the mom first, though. That's right, you heard what I said. You heard what I said. I really suck at dodging those big tubby guys, though. They always get me. Like, they move so fast for being so big. I wonder what this is depicting. Like she's a drug addict. I thought that. So pretty much there was this spot where we connected the pills were doing everything, you know what I mean? They were kind of like bringing her to the spirit world and kind of doing this stuff. Well, after she got back from all that weird Fox thing, because I don't know how far you saw to the Fox rituals. Basically, she does a bunch of rituals, all this Fox stuff. But she comes back and she gets a phone call. She wakes up somewhere. She gets a phone call from her house, almost implying like it's normal again. And they want her to come home. And then her sister, I think, shows up and tells her like she doesn't have a choice. Like not many people have a choice or something, so she better make the best choice and whatnot. So pretty much what I thought she meant was like run home, you know what I mean, and fix things before things go too far. But from being home and reading all the notes and all this stuff from the previous dungeon per se, or the areas that I was exploring, it had a lot to do with that medication. There was even a puzzle that had a balance, like a scale, and it had all her family members. It had like the Fox guy, it had her, it had a sister or something else, and then it had the little pills or whatever. The pills equaled everything else. So it was weird. The solution to the puzzle was the pills balance everything. But aside from that, I'm going to, get back to the game, give you some good time to hear what I said, and then, get back to the story here. What is that? This is crazy. This whole game is crazy. I have been taking those pills like crazy, though. Like a lot of them.
これを飲みなさい。少し楽になりま
Now
す。
she's back in the wolf form, dude. People that are watching, if you're interested in playing this game and don't want anything spoiled, I suggest you leave now, because this is like near the end of the game, I think. It's pretty close. Not in the end, but pretty far in. And crazy stuff is happening.
まだ体が馴染まないのだろう。よくここまでこらえてくれた。
では皆々様に愛想を尽かされてしまうでしょうか。
そんなことは私が許しはしない。少し血色が良くなった。君の体にも合うようだ。
It's like he has her
先祖の霊
drugged
に
up.
備えた米と水
It's
を
fentanyl.
混ぜ合わせてこしたものだ。神聖な力が宿っている。
That might be that divine water they have been drinking, you know, or offering to the gods. Let's just pause for a bit, Brogar. I don't know if you've seen this part, but she looks freaky, doesn't she? She looks freaking creepy.
もう出てます。ありがとうございます。
そうか、気をつけて。そう。
So pretty much what was the last thing that you seen was pretty much the wolf arm come out. Pretty much when the wolf arm came out, she got her arm cut off in this ritual that connected the arm onto her arm. And then there was like 2 more rituals that she had to do, which was included a lot of gameplay, having to learn how to use the fox hand. Then when she learned to use the fox hand and everything like that, I guess she did a bunch of other, like another ritual, which her friend was one of the priestesses that was trying to punish her, which almost makes me think like their family and the friends sacrificed her to like a cult or something like that. I don't know. Sacrificed her initially. I don't know. See, like, I really don't know all this stuff. It's a lot of like guessing so far because we really don't know what the hell's going on. But she's offered herself to this fox guy completely. That's what gave her they burned her skin too. Like they did a huge brand on her back as well. And the brand, I don't know exactly what it does, but it binds her to some shit. And in the middle of the ritual, she said she didn't want to anymore. But once she cut her face off, it's like giving her identity up. Not exactly marriage per se, but do you see the guy with the fox mask? He's almost like a deity, you know what I mean? Like a deity. He's almost like a god. And then there's a bunch of other people with fox masks too, and other animal masks. It almost makes me think that they're trying to make her into a god. I don't know if you know anything about the other Silent Hill games, but the other Silent Hill games had to do with some kind of ancient gods and shit like that, and rituals, and the birth of a god, you know, on Silent Hill 3. So I think it's something to do with making her into some kind of god, like an old god.
君にこれを。
So quick recap. Silent Hill 1 is about a man that lost his daughter in a town. And the town's really kind of spooky. His daughter actually wanted to go to the town and whatnot. But he eventually goes to the town. Sorry, I had a quick phone call. But anyways, he goes to this town, loses his daughter in the process, finds his daughter in a way, but there's some kind of ritual going on, and I'm just gonna go over it briefly. Some kind of ritual going on. Turns out the daughter that he brings back from Silent Hill is not exactly his daughter, but it's like a god from their town, and that they kind of like there's a cult that has to do with some shit in Silent Hill. That's Silent Hill 1. And remember the baby, like he gets this daughter, he gets a baby from Silent Hill basically and raises it, meaning the cult people are looking for that baby because it has something to do with their rituals, you know what I mean? Silent Hill 2 has something to do with the man being punished in Silent Hill. He's being punished by that shit, and it hasn't doesn't really go over anything really much about the cult or anything like that, but it shows that it has supernatural powers, you know what I mean? And Silent Hill 3 is about that baby grown up. She grows up and Silent Hill's calling to her because she's basically some kind of god that was supposed to be born in Silent Hill or some shit like that. It has a lot to do with the occult and rituals and gods and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But gods are more demented than you think that they are.
もう
We'll check out Silent Hill 2 if you ever want to, Brogar. Okay, so the punishments, Brogar, the I'm trying to get the words because I'm really butchering this. You know what I mean? And this does take place before. This Silent Hill is a special Silent Hill because it's a Silent Hill F. It's a Japanese one, so it takes place in the 1960s, I believe. So it does take place kind of like before or somewhat. And when it comes to the drugs, Silent Hill, the cultists, they use certain drugs in their rituals. You know what I mean? Like in Silent Hill 2, they use this shit known as White Claudia, and it kind of clouds your memory and shit like that. You know what I mean? Silent Hill 2's about the sick and the illnesses and shit like that, and suffocating and all kinds of other shit. You know what I mean? It has a bunch of different themes in Silent Hill 2. Now, the punishments, this drug related one is completely different. You know what I mean? I don't know why they have the red capsules in this one. That's new to Silent Hill F.
君が私のものであることの証だ。行こう。君のために用意したものがもう一つある。
はい。
No. The monsters in the other Silent Hills are more like, it depends, you know what I mean? It depends. So the monsters are supposed to be manifestations of one's kind of like, there's a reason why the monsters look the way they do to certain people, you know what I mean? A very odd and precious brooch seems to have reassuring power. But like Silent Hill 2, all the monsters look weird and sexualized, you know what I mean? They're all like legs and they look feminine. They got nurses that are like all dressed all skimpy and shit like that, but they look really nasty. But it's supposed to represent the main character's sexual repression because his wife was like sick or something like that, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really tell you and you don't really figure it. It doesn't tell you straight up that, you know, this is representing this. But then later on you'll learn that like, yo, a lot of these monsters are representations. Like when we replay this game, because I'm gonna replay Silent Hill F. When we replay Silent Hill F, we're gonna do a deeper analyzing of the enemies. You know what I mean, and see what they represent. Once we learn what the story is completely about. So once we get an ending, because there's like three. Okay, Silent Hill 2 had like 8 endings. Okay, and depending on how you played, depended on what kind of ending you got. If you didn't heal often and you left your character on low HP often, and it indicated that you were making your person suffer. So you got like the suffering ending. Now, if you healed often, it indicates that you didn't really care about the suffering and shit like that. You know what I mean? You didn't, you know, you take care of yourself. You don't feel guilty. You know what I mean? Because in the game Silent Hill 2, the character has a lot to do with being guilty, feeling an overwhelming feeling of guilt. You know what I mean? So stuff that manifests within his world is like nasty punishments. You know what I mean? It has to do with sickness and pestilence. You know what I mean? I'm not too sure what the variables are on this game and what the ending is even, you know what I mean? What the good ending is or the bad ending or if there's a good or a bad ending, you know what I mean? So we'll have to see how many different endings are in this game, and I plan on playing a few of them and getting a lot of trophies, and I plan on platinuming this game first off, but also getting the other endings, you know what I mean? So depending on how we play, yeah, I'm thinking, Brogar, I'm thinking we're onto something. We really onto something. 100 million%. Yep. I haven't checked the journal in a while, but like, look, if we check the scales, I'm always alone, so I'm okay playing by myself. That means I have the right dish and the left dish all to myself. I like to play with the Kokishi dolls a lot, and I'm extra careful to share them with left Hinako and right Hinako, so it's fair to both of them. But like, if you see the little dolls, one of them is a little like red sprout. So yeah, even in the puzzles, it's talking about that shit. Secret box. It's a bunch of stuff that I'm not gonna read right now because it's a lot of stuff. But over the time, we'll read and check some of this stuff out. The monsters. Formidable foes. What the hell is this one? Oh, that's the mother and father right here. The monster that my father turned into. It acts the same way he did when he let his anger get the best of him. It was only the curse of fatherhood that made my dad appear human. This form, his true form, must have been hidden underneath all along. So that's like what her father looks like to her and manifested in the other world. They call they either call it the fog world or the other world, you know what I mean? But there's definitely a transition between, you're in the regular world and then everything gets demented and then it goes to Silent Hill, you know what I mean? But then later on as you play through the game, as you get closer to the end and shit gets worse, the enemies start bleeding into the regular world, you know what I mean? Which kind of freaks me out. It's pretty scary, you know. At least I think it's scary. A lot of people are like, no, I'm brave, whatever. Okay, this is the mom. The monster that my mother turned into, I'm not even sure she's realized what's happened to her. Always being humiliated, abused, her twisted ideal of happiness. There's no way that she was a human to begin with. Now, if you look at her eyes, it's almost like her eyes are covered, making her blind, almost representing that she's turned a blind eye to Hinako's abuse. You know what I mean? So her mother wasn't that much help while her father abused her, and it looks like she used a sword to threaten her often, or at least a kitchen knife, because you pick up a kitchen knife off of her body. I don't know why there's like a gold pin in here somewhere. Yeah, the monsters. If you ever get curious, Brogar, you can look up on YouTube. There's like monster analyzing videos. They have a shitload of them, dude. A shitload of them all the way from the beginning. Ever since Silent Hill 1, it's all been symbolic and shit like that. And it's in your face too. The makers of Silent Hill, the creators, they leave it to interpretation also. You know what I mean? Yes, there's some of them that concretely are like, yo, if you ever look up the abstract daddy or whatever, you know exactly what that monster's representing. You know what I mean? There's nothing to hide there, you know. I like how the journal got updated here. They colored it or pictured. Okay, so now we can read the rest of this because this is really what I went into the journal for, is to read more of the uh, Hinoko's story by herself. I've realized that we get to see what's going on in the game and then analyze it. But what's even better that the other Silent Hills don't include is the journal here. I mean, the other Silent Hills have a map and you can collect all the documents and stuff like that, but you don't get a journal that depicts exactly what the protagonist is thinking at the time, you know? So during this, we can kind of get updates. Look, we got update on mom and dad too, so that's pretty cool because I've been reading them throughout, you know what I mean? If you've been around through the stream or other people dropping in. All right. Nothing gets on my nerves more than other people trying to make decisions for me. Even if what they're saying is right, it just rubs me the wrong way. Yeah, personally, I agree. I'd rather make 100 mistakes on my own than follow someone else's commands. But that can make for a lonely life, one where I refuse to listen to anyone else. I want to become the kind of person who truly listens to what others have to say. Of course, it'll still be up to me whom I listen to, and that will be someone I can trust, someone who will walk alongside me, hand in hand. And like I was saying earlier, that Fox guy represents Shu, in my opinion. They don't show the other world Shu, you know, or how she looks or thought of Shu. However, making long lists of things I hate is just a way of running away from the real issues I have with my inner self. I have to step up and face what's inside of me, even if I don't like what I see. Being able to take my time and carefully think things through before making a decision is what's most important to me. All right. Okay, we already read this. I don't know if you've seen it. It was in the beginning of the game. Pretty much. Pretty much, man. Pretty much. There's also this other kind of questionable moment where before the ritual, remember before you actually saw the, because I think you jumped on right after. Every time you jump on, there's a huge crazy shit's happening, you know what I mean? And something crazy's happening. It's a major difference. But I think prior to the Fox chapters that you watched, she actually punished her friends, Rinako and Shu and Sakugo or whatever. She punished them. She fucking punished them, but also you had to go through Shu's room, and Shu had a prized possession of like some kind of fucked up stuff that was like related to bullying Hinoko. So I think maybe all of them were really bullying her, even Shu eventually in the end. But I don't know. I want to see the new entries for this. A woman's happiness. This is the quotes that she was saying in battle or whatever. A woman's happiness begins with marriage. She told me that every opportunity she got. Am I supposed to believe that she's actually happy with the life she has now in this house? Today my dad threw a knife. It got stuck in the tatami mat. Tatami mat. There are chips and dings all over the house. Every last one is from when he threw something. Is that what happiness is to my mother? Seeing her house in such a sorry state and full of scars? I'm pretty glad that they actually covered more on the father because previously the father and the mom were like totally scribbled out. Now they actually have I used to think it was just my dad who was like this, but after listening to all the married women around here complain, every man seems just as bad. All their husbands are just as short-tempered, just as violent, just as useless, and do just as little to help out their wives. After learning this, every grumpy-looking old man in town I see reminds me of him. When I think that I was born and raised just to support these horrible tyrants, I lose all hope. If everything works out, they're going to give my father a lot of money. I'm sure he's desperate to use it to pay back his debts. My father is selling me to pay back his debts. What? Dude. So that is another thing. His father's selling her. So I think that the friends turned on her and maybe sacrificed her to the cult. Yep, sold her to the cult. Because if you look at Junoko, if you read right here, there's one of them, Sakuko, I think. There you go, Sakuko. One of these people, they're basically involved in religion and shit like that. Shu's involved in religion as well, but also medicine. It might be Rinko. Rinku. But basically, she's superstitious. So yeah, eventually we'll have this all kind of come together, you know. This is one thing that I wanted to show too. Is where is it? These guys. So I think these guys represent like pervs or men, you know what I mean? Men in her representation because how she sees her dad, they're like a particularly, and it also has his tongue out, you know what I mean? Like he's drooling, like a perv, you know what I'm saying? Sorry, get all animated. A particularly suspicious monster walks around on all fours, the greedily staring eyes, the greasy palms, the disgusting way it acts all chummy with me. See, that shit's funny. The disgusting way it acts all chummy with me. All of it's completely repulsive. What's more, it never even bothers with guys. Typical. So to me, it makes me think like it's all acting chummy with her, like some pervs do with some women. You know what I mean? Like, and these things really stalk you sometimes. They're all looking in the distance, trying to kind of creep on you. You know what I mean? These right here, kind of to me, represent. Where is it? There's one of them that's really that one represents what happened to her during the ritual. You know what I mean? Also, the game over sign when you die, it's a bird with a broken wing, like its wing cut off. This hand, like it's her left hand's cut off too. And her name means little bird. But yeah, dude, she's freaking. Yeah. That scene where all this stuff happened to her, pretty much, it was emotional to me, like super emotionally disturbing. I was like, bro, you get really attached to the character throughout the ways, and then you see how she was like really reluctant to trust, and everybody kind of pushed her into it, and pretty much now she can't even be herself anymore because her face is torn off like that. She's becoming her own deity, her own god or something like that. I don't know. I think she's becoming like a. All these rituals give her more power. Like, she has an overdrive mode now, It's pretty cool. She doesn't need a weapon. Um, Hard to say, Brogar. I think this is the spirit world that they connect to when they take all those drugs. Since they take all those red capsules and enough of it. Let me see. Documents. So you could read some of this stuff. Where is it? Clinical trial. This shit. I began taking this medicine out of desperation. My first impression was it smells of peaches and is faintly sweet. After taking it before bed for the past 3 nights, I had my first lucid dream. For the whole night, I was able to organize my thoughts in pleasant darkness. In a pleasant darkness. Was this what the tales meant when they said? Um, Pretty much not much, man. It's hard for me to connect with the real Hinako's doing. And it almost makes me believe that she might just be hallucinating or some shit in the real world or something. I don't know. When she came home previously, because the last mission was to get home before I actually had to fight the parents, um, I almost thought that maybe she was a drug addict just running home finally. You know what I mean? And she's all torn up. And it's not because of the monsters, it's just because she's been out and about for a long time, you know? But yeah, this talks about those local doctors note. So it talks about the differences between medicine, you know. They're local doctors notes. And I guess these all have to do with the same strain of documents, you know. This one talks about foxes. There have been sighting of foxes coming into town recently. I'm sure the older generations who have grown up learning to respect foxes are fine, but I'm concerned for any children who may try and chase or provoke the creatures. Foxes by nature are not aggressive, but just like wild dogs, they carry diseases such as rabies, tetanus, and echinococcus or whatever. To name just a few, the town community should send out warnings to ensure people don't get unnecessarily close to them. Even now, trust given to the long-standing physicians of the EY family is unshakably strong. When I told the eldest working member of the family at the gathering, I was astonished by their outstanding bounty of knowledge. Though as they discussed the details of their practices with me, I got the hint that they still might be using controlled substances in their treatment. However, I think it's best that I look the other way in this situation. While it is now illegal to produce the cloudy rice wine known as Doboroko, people across Japan were once free to make it as they needed, perhaps operating within the gray area of legislation between tradition and modern medicine has always been the role of local physicians here. So this is probably that drink that she was drinking right here, that cloudy rice wine. This is crazy. Some kind of undetermined cause of death case. Body was astonishingly malnourished, and the calva- calvarium had been split open like it had burst from the inside. The cranial bones had been hollowed out and filled with insect eggs, later identified as belonging to various species, including locusts, grasshoppers, and crickets. No evidence to suggest that they were put there by human hand. Seemed to be planted by insects naturally, highly unusual behavior considering the current harsh winter temperatures. Yet another corpse to come through with an inexplicable COD. At least one of these was easier to stomach than case 8. All bodies with unexplicable causes of death are kept secret and swiftly handed over to the police department. In turn, the police department immediately disposes of such bodies without so much as a customary glance. Additional notes: this man was suspected of blaspheming against religious doctrine. He seemed to bear some kind of grudge against the Inari faith. It's always the same with these strange corpses, after all. After all, there can only be one outcome for not paying reverence to Oyonari-san. So, just kind of try and lore catch you up, Brogar, with some of the documents that I may have found that are like stick out a little bit and are more interesting. This is that room that we went into prior to the last part of the ceremony before she passed out. So now we're, making our way. No worries, brother. You're a recurring watcher, viewer of here. So, like, you have a lot of say-so in what we do on the stream as well, you know what I mean? If I wasn't so hard-pressed to get certain games down, I wouldn't mind taking recommendations of stuff that people wanted to watch, you know? It's like right here, dude. I don't know if I should actually draw more of these or I should just save my faith, you know what I mean? But what I am going to do is draw one. Max sanity. And now save it. I'm actually going to save it right here. Nope, right here. I am set with good ones, but we never know which ones we could come to find. What if we find like a turtle one that makes it so you gradually restore HP over time? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many of them that I'm thinking like, man, there's always something around the corner that might be a game changer. Also, I really think this is a heavy game of the year contender as well, because not only that, there's dynamic. The battles in this shit are kind of dynamic. You know what I mean? Like, some battles I had to wail off on an enemy, like really just combo them and do a lot of damage. The last one we had to run. Like, we really had to have a lot of energy to run away from that chick with the knife to be able to counter her. You know what I mean? So keeping those tokens and those things to swap out, just they're game changers on the boss battles. Another boss battle that I did had a lot of countering in it, so I wanted to get some counter stuff in. Another boss battle had like a lot to do with the focus. You know what I mean? You focus in and then use the focus attacks. Like Elden Ring, most of the battles and some of those Dark Soul battles, they have dynamics and different battle styles, but they don't dig into the mechanics that much. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm playing an old school game, but a more advanced game at the same time. What I mean by old school is some games had it so that you were able to, like PlayStation 2 games, like Spyro or whatever. You had to do a certain thing to be able to fucking damage the boss. You know what I mean? And this is that reward system too. You have to do a certain thing to be able to damage the boss. Prove your intent with the crest. 3 show what lies deep within your heart. Let the line of foxes guide you. Offer the crest and lay bare your soul. Oh my gosh.
賑やかな絵。
They all got their prescription bottles. They all want their drugs, man. Well, if we really look at what it's depicting here. What is that, mice back there? Even the mice need to re-up, dude. No, I think it's... I don't know if they're foxes. They must be foxes. And what's in the little cradle in there? The blackbird wishes to take the whitebird. The whitebird wishes to resist. The fox brings along his followers in triumph. He notices not the 2 birds in conflict. Okay, so we need those coins, and those coins have to do with this puzzle, and then we gotta put them into the little slots according to the puzzle. There's 3 emblems. And the reason I know this is because one of the little harps that I will say about this game is it's pretty repetitive when it comes to the nature of these things. Not everything's super repetitive, but I've played a couple levels where I have to go collect 3 emblems or 3 things, you know what I mean? But what can I say? Everything else in this game has been great.
立派な方々。
I mean, Brogar, were you expecting this? Like, when you think about Silent Hill and horror, survival horror games, were you expecting this? Like, this kind of brutality, your character's all bleeding in the back, but you started the characters like a well-kept schoolgirl? Like, yeah, no way. I was not expecting this. This game was not afraid to just go nuts about this story, you know what I mean? Ooh. Yeah, we turned into the monster. It has a lot of different tropes combined together, like you turn them to a monster trope, you know? That could be a twist in its own. And I thought that that's where the game was about to end. I didn't think we were going to continue and fucking be fighting with the monster. Dude, I don't even know if you saw the ability. You could suck the souls out of monsters. Like, February 13th, dawn. Mr. Hidetoshi and his wife have passed away, one after the other. At the time of death, the skin all over their bodies was covered in sores and it had begun slowing off. The smell was indescribably awful. I could not bear to take a closer look. The head of the house did not give permission to perform autopsies on the bodies. There will be no funeral and they will be sent to be cremated immediately. February 14th, midnight. The eldest son has passed away. Again, there will be no funeral, and the body will be sent away for cremation. The eldest and second-born daughters are also experiencing symptoms that are worsening by the hour. I believe they will be in critical condition by tomorrow at the latest. Dude, that's like 2 days within each other, like a day. People dying. filled with the talisman. Okay, so this is where the game almost makes itself into its own genre, which is almost why I feel it's called F. You know what I mean? It's Silent Hill F type. It's a different type. It's like Silent Hill, because this is not how... You said you don't know anything about Silent Hills, Brogar. This is not the traditional Silent Hill, I promise. It's got huge Silent Hill elements, and it does not separate itself away completely from Silent Hill. Because there's some people who are saying, this is not Silent Hill, this is Dark Souls now. They're forgetting about these disturbing elements that make this game really uncomfortable to play. I could play Dark Souls. I could play Bloodborne. Or Fox. Or Fox. And Brogar, it can't be a finale because we're just beginning here. We're just beginning to get the fucking franchise back. We're just beginning to get Silent Hill remakes. You know what I mean? Like Silent Hill 2 remake we already got. Silent Hill F was kind of pushed right there with Silent Hill 2 remake. And they already announced Silent Hill 1 remake. You know what I mean? So, yeah. This might be just the beginning of the Japanese trilogy or some shit like that, you know? I believe this game is going to be a huge contender for Game of the Year, man. And I do love Silent Hill, but if you really sucked ass, I'd be true to it. When I play as the wolf, dude, I don't fucking... I feel like I play a lot better because I don't worry about my weapons breaking. And I mean the fox, not... I counter better instead of playing as a regular Hinoko. Also, let's change this up. We don't need this anymore, the Omamari Wolf, because this deals additional damage when using weapons with high durability. Effective only for weapons with durability. Our hand is not a weapon, you know? It is a weapon, but it's not a durability weapon. Increase max stamina. Look, we don't really need the stamina as much on this, because check out this cool combo system that I'm going to show you. Horse. We don't really need to run around because we're the monster, like we said. So, we'll go down here. What we want to do is... What was it? We could do this, which is Mantis, because we're doing a lot of counters. And then we can also do the Crow. Slightly restores health after defeating an enemy. So basically, you get fucking health back real fast. And then we can do the greatly decreased sanity consumption while using focus, or we could do greatly decreases focus charging time. We could also swap this. We might not need health after defeating an enemy, or we might not be using the counter. We could swap either of these, but I would suggest comboing with the owl and this, because that makes it so your sanity consumption is pretty much non-existent, and you can slow down time, get your counters, because you're using your slow down time with these. You get your counters, you know, because you use focus, it slows down time. Now you can get your shit back. But if you have a lot of focus, you could always get your counters, which basically makes you a vampire, and you can heal up. Now, you could also opt to use the Crow, but slowing down time is not really going to guarantee healing when you kill them. You know what I mean? And I think by default, when you soul siphon, you get health from the souls. So I'm already coming up with like crazy ass builds thanks to Elden Ring and shit. But here's the thing, just playing Elden Ring is not going to make you good at this game. This game has its own edge to it, which is why I feel it's going to be a contender for Game of the Year. It's like has its own play style. And yes, I do run back and forth to these places. I have no fucking map, man. I gotta open this now, but it's hard to say that I'm exploring everything efficiently. Well, you gotta see how the vampire draining works. Come on, guys. I'm actually waiting for the enemies to get up and like, come on, man. It's like a torture room. I'm not really paying attention to this shit because it's really scary, so I'm just kind of walking through. Yeah, the only reason why I feel it's not as popular, this game might not be as popular, is because it's not as accessible. You don't want to see your kid be playing this shit, you know? Oh, God. Nothing is clean in this thing. Ornate scroll. Purify, once and for all, leave the filth of your world behind. I will cleanse it all, the filth of this world. Oh, nice, these foxes have shit. So I think it's pointing us in the right direction of where we should be going, you know? And some rooms serve as punishments, like there won't be that much shit in there. Silent Hill 2 had this one spot where you had to answer this riddle. If you answered it wrong, you got dropped into this pit where all these enemies are like over there, ready to whoop on you. Alright. Oh, I hear the scary music. Oh boy, you don't want to come face me, dude. I'm gonna whoop you. I like how she crouches now. She's like more animalistic. Now that, I've been playing so many games, I already understand. That wants me to run over there. Which I'm not gonna worry about that right now. I'm just gonna kind of get rid of these monsters trying to ambush. They bring down my sanity. My sanity. So if we play carefully, we can get our life back through counters. But we also want to take some drugs to get our sanity back. I have reason to believe this is the end of the game almost, because we don't have a map anymore. We're kind of going without the map. So we're so deep into the Shadow Realm that we don't have any kind of... There used to be a map for every other area. Sorry if I play this really slowly, by the way, Brogar. Take my time. Otherwise, I'd have a heart attack. Get over here, you fucking crying, hideous creature. hear the clicking, like I can hear the clicking, and that clicking is one of those monsters, those scissor monsters. This room has like space above, so they might be hiding up above or around that corner right there. Something is clicking. And it might be those things. Because it's a bunch of porcelain dolls. Yep. That thing freaking ambushing me still, dude. Holy shit. Pretty powerful. Sheesh. Okay, now that we got the focus stuff out of the way, because we don't have as much sanity, we're gonna go right here and put the crow on there so we can heal. We really need to get this health economy up, because look, I only have 3. Yeah, we're gonna be in a shit situation if we can't complete this game in this sequence. You know how some games... Ooh, we got a crest. Some games give you more life as the game gets harder. This game basically gives you less life as the game goes on, you know? So you gotta save the life from the beginning. So that's why I have a lot of save files on certain bosses, just in case it gets way too hard. I can go back to a certain save file and then do better, you know, instead of having to repeat the whole game. This is a game that's very notorious for soft locking yourself through it, you know? Shortly after I became their maid, there was talk of an arranged marriage for the young heir to a noble woman. This led to their heir unceremoniously ending all his scandalous relationships with women, including one of the young housemaids named Sachi. Sachi came from a family of poor farmers, but her beauty shone brighter than the sun, something that had caught the young heir's eye. By the time his marriage was being arranged, she already had a life growing inside her, and the two had made vows to run away and start a new life together. And yet the young heir cruelly and wantonly cast her aside. Likely he simply did not want his prospective marriage to be ruined. So the Sunikis kicked Sachi out and drove her to some far-off place where they could forget her existence, despite the peace of the family she carried with her. People say she was fighting back, tears so hard that blood began to trickle from her eyes. Okay, that's crazy. That might be where all the crying kids and everything like that, you know? Okay, we came from here. That thing was in here. Also, we have this ability where we can search through the walls and like see your true path or whatever. Basically, she's become a monster. Ornate scroll. Abandoned once and for all. Familial ties must be severed. I'll sever your ties. My family is you. So basically, another thing is, before she became the fox, she had to basically like get rid of her family and shit, like her friends, cut ties from them. Oh, we could restore sanity, man. Also, this game's pretty difficult trying to go through and playing on hard for the first time. Like, holy shit, there's a lot of times where I've regretted it. I've straight up regretted it. We're gonna keep that until we're really good with life. There's no way that we just need one. Okay, yeah, there's more. There's more. Because it says collect 3. The Tsunokis are the most notable family in this area and are known for their wealth. For generations, each head of the family has possessed a talent for business and acumen. They have utilized during the times of social unrest to amass a large fortune. However, given that a great many suffered while they grew rich, their actions had often drawn envious eyes. When I first entered into the service for the Tsunokis, my grandmother shared some of the many rumors that swirl around the family. Each time the world falls to pieces, the Tsunokis' treachery only grows larger. The Tsunokis are happily waiting for misfortune to strike so they can line their pockets. Okay. Sounds like we need to be punished. Just kidding. I really need to get my life back, so we need to stop using life. You know what I mean? If we're really near death, we just need to walk it off. Straight up walk it off. I'm gonna go empty my pockets real quick, if I can. No, I can't, so we're just gonna keep going. Oh shit, it's this one. No! See how I mean? You could trip up so fucking hard. Hey, look, it autosaved here. If we used our life and got through that, we would be just getting through to harder and harder stuff with no life. So, also, I want to make sure I got my talismans right. Yeah, they're cool. Oh shit, it's from the other room. get our life back after we soul siphon them to Pro. See how the life is coming back, Rogar? You see that? We're getting our shit back. So pretty much we need like a hunt, you know? There really wasn't anything in this room. Oh, another thing I like to mention, I have not been seeing any bugs in this game, like nothing. Nothing bad, no glitches, no game breakers. Huh? So if they have like talismans on the door, seals that need it sealed up. Look, more paper. Good morning, my handsome boy. Your real last name is Tsuneke. Tsuneke. It is told that those of the Tsuneke lineage are destined to bring good fortune when the world is in disorder. In fact, this is how your father earned succession to the Tsuneke lineage, and you have inherited your father's noble blood, are sure to be next in line. To make your name, I took one character from your father's name and one character from mine. That way, when anyone from the Tsuneke family hears your name, they'll immediately know you are our child. There's many different rooms, but the real one that we need to go to, oh, we'll take that, we'll take that. Alright, so let's just check one then. We gotta check one. I have a feeling that we're in the wrong one. Okay, so Pyramid Head is like a manifestation from Silent Hill 2, James Sunderland's subconscious thoughts or whatever. When he was on vacation to Silent Hill with his wife, when she was still, you know, alive and everything like that, or well, he went to a museum and he saw a picture of an executioner. So when he went to Silent Hill in like the other demented version of Silent Hill, it fucking manifested as Pyramid Head. His own version of like something to punish him, you know what I mean? So that's like the beast mode that you could use. So this is basically a dead end. Now, I have no idea what the solution for this puzzle is, by the way. But as you can see, those tags are on the door, which made it into like a fight for your life type shit. We just did this guy, so we're gonna go to this one. And we'll just go around the circle. No, thank you. I'm good. Yeah, I have to go around the circle. Oh, I really lucked out. Huh. Ouch. This is the best room. Hell yes. That guy one-shots your ass if you have no stamina when you get over there. That guy has no chill, dude. No freaking chill. Please. Why are you gonna be so cruel, dude? This game is freaking insanely hard. It is difficult. Very difficult. Every freaking encounter is freaking harder than the last one. Oh, come on, please don't be funny. Shit, through the wall, bro. Oh. Yes, through the damn wall he would kill you. Wait, you know what it is? I'm getting it. I'm not studying it right. We need to actually kill these things in privacy. I guess. Well, there's a will, there's a way, man. Of course, it's down there. Another one. There's a fucking other one. Oh man, dude. There's no fucking way, dude. There's no fucking way. Oh. Dude, come on. I just killed you. That is it. That is it. That is it. Oh, never mind. It's gonna kill me now. Even the basic enemies in this game. Even the basic enemies in this game, brother. I do not mean to lose my cool, but holy crap. They got me in the damn corner. They got me in the corner. That's what I get for choosing the wrong freaking room. Mechanical whoop ass. So basically, I learned more about those guys. They're basically like mannequin, like puppeteers. I had to use strategy, man. But they're like puppeteers, meaning you have to cut them off with the walls. Cut off its support, you know? That's creepy. Do I still have the mantis thing equipped? Yeah, I do. Holy crap. They're basically, the way that I know that they're going to attack me is I walk, and if I hear a clink, a little clinking sound, gotta dodge the moment that happens. Look, I found it. That is what I needed. But I'm not going to open it until I'm sure that it's clear. And I've stolen all of their valuables. Look, there was a fourth one, remember? Where is it, dude? Don't play me like this. Maybe I killed it in battle. And pretty much when they're hitting you so many times, like how in Elden Ring and shit, when you hit into the ground, maybe you're able to actually have some kind of recovery roll and shit. Basically, you get hit into a corner and you can't move. When that happens, ooh, man. But there's also a defensive stance to be taken in the corner. As long as you have items that can just keep spamming your fucking hardcore move. You know what I mean? I had to think, man. There's a reason why they gave me that fucking the drinks prior to the that battle.
これは服で怯えた
How do I leave? Oh, right here. Duh. Boy. And I've noticed too, this game actually scares me by putting the hardest enemies in my way. Ooh. So, slowly restores health and current max stamina can also be used in the offering. I'm actually not going to be offering these guys that much. Fully restores prevents them. I'm going to keep that, just in case I need it. Because I'm actually using those items now. I have no more painkillers, 2 bandages, 3 things right there, and then one of those kudzu things. That should help. I have to go back through here. Okay, it's stuck. I have to go somewhere else. There's 5 rooms this time. But they actually have items in each of these things, you know? Please don't do me like this, please. There's gotta be more. Usually there's a letter in each. There we go. Wow, I got a trophy for that. Good morning. Good morning, my handsome boy. I have good news, indeed good news. To a Sunoki is always accompanied by the news of someone else's. Indeed, good news to a Tsuneki is always accompanied by the news of someone else's death. Your father and that woman he kept as a pet have both gotten sick and died. What? And now your grandfather, the head of the house, has invited you, the Tsuneki residents, to make you successor. It is a pity that I couldn't reacquaint you with your father, but at least I was able to make you successor to the Tsuneki lineage.
これは
Letter with a pressed flower. There used to be nothing I hated more in the world than being forced to live as a proper girl. But when I think of you, I start to wonder if maybe, just maybe, there is a reason I was born a girl. I think of you, I start to wonder if maybe, just maybe, there is a reason I was born a girl. I hope these feelings will reach you like dandelion seeds carried through the wind. Nice, nice. Mandate of the clan. A living sacrifice shall be offered every 8 years, for nothing else can quell. This is it, Brogar. This is what we've been waiting for. This is it! For nothing else can quell the wrath which dwells in the waters deep. She shall be a maiden, fair and pure of heart, and the blood which flows through her veins shall be that which has been blessed by the stars and is beloved by fate. Let it be known that only the most suitable sacrifice shall quench the being's vicious thirst. The duty of finding such a sacrifice shall fall upon the head of this house. Dude. So pretty much Hinoko is his sacrifice for the 8 years. We're about to be sacrificed to something bigger, man. That's creepy. Okay. This place is disturbing me. I'm gonna be going door to door like I did last time. Hopefully we don't get ourselves killed, because this is a torture room. We're here in a torture. I heard that thing close, so yeah. Let's not get whipped, guys. Remember, this is that room that has the mannequins, so maybe if we open it here, we can approach them. I actually want to get myself killed because I don't want to lose that much sanity. I need the sanity to actually flow. You know what I mean? Flow correctly. I need that shit. We gotta encounter them one by one, man. That thing's gonna get up on me. Dude, it looks like there's an item here every time I turn around. You know what these girls are, bro? All these little things are probably all the sacrifices. All the unsuitable ones. It's much more complex than the typical sex traffic thing, you know what I mean? Like, what if this kind of stuff's happening on Epstein Island, you know? Oh, shit. I think after a certain amount of rooms, sacrifice, once and for all, body and soul, made pure by rebirth, offer all that is yours.
全てを捧げ
Offer
ま
all
す
of me, I belong to, I am his.
私は夫幸様のもの
So,
です
those rooms don't really offer me anything besides getting my ass kicked. And I know that there's probably going to be a big boss in this one, so... I'm just gonna go... Oh my god. What is happening? It's filled with a talisman. There's a monster here. Holy shit. Of course there is. Yeah, bud. Alright, this one's gonna be tough. Tough. I told you there's gonna be a fat ass boss up in here. Oh look, first aid kit. Yeah. It would save my crushed ass skull. I hate that movie. Oh my god.
純子さん。
お取り込み中ごめんなさい。ひな子とほんの少しだけ話がしたいのだけれど、よろしいかしら。
では。
One big gripe that I have with the damn game too, which is just a personal thing for me, is that freaking titty monster that I have to fight over and over again, bro. He shows up so often. That freaking big blob thing. It's like they're thought of like, you know, it's hard to deal with a couple enemies in this game. Sorry, I had to go get some water. But then they always put those blobs with a bunch of enemies, and then they like, let's put a blob in this situation. How about we put a blob and make everything red? Like, yeah, dude.
姉ちゃん、殺せた？しっかりと。うん。しっかりね。しっかりって。今日の。
So just to catch you up, Brogar, when she says, "Did you kill it? Is it gone?" She was telling her prior to go back home for some reason and make a choice. So I think it meant kill her parents.
お姉ちゃんとあなたの二人だけの秘密にしてあげる。でも今日を超えてまだ生き残っていることがあるのなら、お姉ちゃんが彼のためにもあなたを殺すからね。
もう少し外していた方がいいかな。
いいえ。お時間をありがとうございます。それではこれにて。
姉妹で語り合えたかね。
はい。
それでは行こうか。
Yeah, the best discussion you can have in this kind of house game. Nice.
あなた様の
Okay, so
お印ですね。
I'm gonna search this room just for items, dude. And as you noticed, they've been really like lowering the amount of items that are in the boss rooms and shit. Like there's just one first aid kit that I picked up off the side here. There's nothing for there's nothing for your mana. There's absolutely nothing for your sanity. You know what I mean? No, there's something. There's something. Okay. They have a sanity item and a health item, as they should, to make it properly balanced. But they don't really show. There's no little blip that shows that it's there. You actually have to walk over there to find it. So I actually have 2 of those teas, 4 first aids. We're sitting pretty well. Remember I said we got to stop using health and shit like that and start relying on the counters? Well, the counters have been pulling us back up. Counters have been keeping the health up. And again, I do regret playing this game for the first time on the hardest difficulty, bro. It may not even be the hardest difficulty. You might unlock a harder difficulty after beating the game. So, I don't know. So when I say hardest, it's just the hardest that's available. There was a puzzle mode called Lost in the Fog. So, let me just tell you, when people are saying something's challenging, and one of the first reviews that I read about this game said it was great and badass and amazing, minus the difficulty. I have to see what they're griping about, so I have to put it on hard mode, you know? But they said even on the story mode difficulty, it's hard. So, yeah, that's what I'm playing with here. There should be, yes, the shrine. We're gonna keep these teas. Fully restores max sanity and reduces sanity damage. I'm getting to the point where I am keeping some of these items because I don't know when I'm going to use the toolkit again. I don't know if you go back into the next realm and you play again, because it seemed like it was the climax of the real world Hinako's story. You fight the family and then that's good, you know what I mean? Um, I am going to pray. Kind of want to get sanity up. Or fuck it, more of this. This is actually helping me out. Well, let's do health. Dude, you could still upgrade more life and more stamina. I just haven't found those little blocks. I don't even know if there's enough blocks to max out your stuff. I mean, I got 3 here, 2 or 3 here, 4 here, maybe 3 or 4, 3 maybe, I don't know. It's hard to keep track of these. Dude, I saved this thinking that this was going to be like one of the hardest bosses and shit. No, hell no. Hell no. That was easy. You're fighting one enemy kind of thing. Nothing's on fire. Now, I've been fighting bosses where shit's on fire. Shit's crazy. Alright. Now we have a puzzle to do. Prove your intent with the crest. 3 shows what lies deep within your heart. Let the line of foxes guide you. Offer the crest and lay bare your soul. The black bird wishes to take the white bird. The white bird wishes to resist. The fox brings along his followers in triumphs. He notices not the 2 birds in conflict. He notices not the 2. Wow. The black bird wishes to take the white bird. I think that was the white bird we put in. Maybe put the fox here. Yeah, this one's got me stumped. Which foxes are fighting over the lantern? Oh, it's those guys up there. White one wishes to resist. Black one's taking that. It says the fox brings along his followers in triumph. He notices not the two birds in conflict. So I feel like whoever's the leader of these guys, which is this guy, I feel it would be let me just swap these guys. Hold up one second. What is this guy doing over here? Is he... Let the line of foxes guide you. Offer the crest and lay bare your soul. He notices not that the blackbird wishes to take the white bird. The white bird wishes to resist. Hmm. I'm wondering which is the fox, which one the fox is supposed to be. So we got the black and the white bird, I think. I know what we can do. We can do this. The process of elimination. Okay, you're not the fox. Are you the fox? Maybe that guy's like the Emperor, and then that one's like his... This has got to be an entourage of these fools. And even so, since we tried all of these, we might as well remove these because I do... One of these guys is resistant. Or is it the White Sparrow? And this guy's trying to snatch that shit. Uh-huh. And that's how it's done, son. Bro, you freaking discovered how easy it is for those fucking, you helped me out with those foxes, the birds. Because I didn't even notice they were fighting each other. God, it's so misleading. These are easier than some of the other Silent Hill puzzles, man. I appreciate it, man. Usually I don't like to do puzzles and shit, because, like, it depends on what kind of puzzle it is, you know? But some of these Silent Hill ones are just so obtuse, you know? But yeah, like, these ones are actually fun. I wonder what the F is gonna happen here, man. I only got like 15 or 20 minutes to play left, brother. I am sorry to cut the stream short. I just have work tomorrow. And ever since this game released, I've been up. I appreciate your company, man. I'll admit this stream's been pretty dry when it comes to the reception, but I really think it's dry because some people don't want to watch this game yet. People want to watch it after they've played the game, you know what I'm saying? But some people don't really care to play the game much, or they're not ready to buy it in a sense. So they'll watch me play it, but like, I don't know. It's not as popular as like Metal Gear Delta or some other stuff that I was streaming. But it's definitely mysterious, and I think it's cool to set up for October. I plan on streaming like Resident Evil games and other stuff. Well, I'm glad that you came along on my journey, Brogar. Hey, I think it is. With my family, with my mother and everything, she grew up, well, she raised me playing Silent Hill and everything. So there was a moment where she passed the controller to me and it was funner for her to watch it. You know what I mean? But like vice versa, it might be funner to watch certain things rather than play them, you know? Because this would double down as a movie, but minus the psychologically messing with you and choices, you know what I mean?
これで最後。よくここまでついてきてくれた。一緒だからここまで来られました。もうわずかの辛抱だ。はい。最後まで。
What? There's no fucking teeth clenching, ripping. 2 portals open, doors to a secret world. That's what my trophy said. What the crap? That's her mom and her dad.
全部お前たちのせいだ。
Okay, cool. I could change this stuff. Okay, we're gonna be changing to the wolf here because now we can do extra damage. Meaning we want to do extra damage because the weapons break. Crow, maybe with the health. I might want to do the counters. We'll do the mantis because we can pop off many different counters, whereas opposed to that. I almost want to do the horse so I can sprint. See that damage? That's some raw damage right there. I'm gonna repair my weapon. That way it's a harder.
私の大切なものを全て奪ったな。なら私自身も奪うがいい。
What I like about this game is the monsters are like
だが
abstract.
な。
They're gonna be like crawling after you, all real creepy and jerky. You know what I mean? And fucking what is it? It's hard to time. That can be really frustrating for people, or it could be entertaining for some. And that's entertaining for me. I can really charge it up. It reminds me of Bloodborne using the Hunter's Axe and charging that up and sending somebody flying. But you really have to time it right. And it's rewarding. I also like to let you know, because on Silent Hill 2, it's almost a theory that the character relives the same events in a loop over and over again, perpetually being tortured. You know what I'm saying? I do not know if it's the same kind of theory or case that be proven in this game. So I'm gonna try to push to the end of the game. I may not get there. We're gonna swap for this not so broken kitchen knife just so that we have that weapon. Because I have a feeling that we're gonna run and it's gonna go to the final boss area and we're pretty much not gonna have a weapon. Our weapons are gonna be really low. I did not see anything about the legendary sword. See right here, that tree? That's where the legendary sword is. But looks like where we're running, kind of going around. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, dude? Please. I'm tired of fighting these things. See that fucking annoying shit. want to do this. So we can get that shit back, you know? And we want to save it. I'm actually going to go right back up here and save right here. Hold up. I got messed up, and I think in this sequence, we're not really going to be fighting these guys. I think it's trying to trick us into using as much shit as we can, and that way, we get effed up. And I'm not trying to get effed up. I'm trying to get to the end of this as far as I can go. Equipment. We want to change this probably to... What is it? The horse. Want to change it to the horse. We also want to change this mantis thing, because that mantis is for countering. We're not really going to be fighting much. So we're going to use that, where is it? There's one that's, dude, I guess maybe I never picked it up. But it's basically supposed to increase the ability of a perfect dodge, but I don't know, I didn't pick it up. So we're just going to run with that. Wolf, mantis, and the horse. Oh my god. I freaking know it's there, and it's still Of course. You have to make me fight another one of these damn things that I freaking hate. Oh, This never ends. It's like 20 of these enemies. To think that they only had one of these bosses. It's fucking insane. Oh, man. At least there's an autosave right here. So honestly, I have to go and make sure I could run through that and equip the right stuff. That way I'm prepared for that. Yet again, that monster that I've fought like freaking 1,000 times. Oh. Honestly, brother, I'm about to do the same. I cannot. I gotta go to sleep, man. It's got me sucked in. But I appreciate your time, brother. And hopefully tomorrow we'll have the end of this game. You know what I mean? You can see the ending or something. Because I am streaming tomorrow. Oh, I will. I'll fill you in, Brogar. I will fill you in, and then I'll pick another game that we're gonna be playing. We might be playing what is it? Soul Reaver. Good night, brother. I appreciate you stopping by.